Welcome everybody back to Nine's Corner. I didn't think I'd be doing another video on the C19, but I am flabbergasted. I mean, here in Canada, we do have our medical system, and Dr. Elward from the World Health Organization had said that Canada had a fairly decent system in place because of our SARS outbreak from a few years back. But to watch the difference between the US and the Canadian news is just wow. Now, we have our problems. A lot of people feel that Justin Trudeau is not doing enough to close the borders and to be really into the containment part of it. But to watch Trump and to see how he's misinformed. And interestingly, when we did our video about the coronavirus, remember we were saying about China and thinking that they had other countries involved or that other people knew about it. And then, you come to find out that Trump knew about this 6-8 weeks ago, that there was test kits from the World Health Organization that they were willing to put out, and then Trump said, no, we're going to make our own. And that was a complete just bomb. And the fact is that there could have been better containment. Donald Trump screwed this up majorly. And the reality is that from this point on, there is going to be a spike. I mean, just the fact that they have tests going out, that's going to cause a spike in the numbers, and God willing, they're going to give the real numbers. But to watch Donald Trump misinform, and then Ben Carson gets out there. Ben Carson, isn't he he's like a neurosurgeon or something, and he's saying, yes, go out, go to your Trump rallies, because God forbid the leader doesn't get his praise for that day. So I thought we would look at, is the C19, is this virus going to be the first nail in Donald Trump's coffin? Because we've looked before and we know his taxes, one of them are going to say, yes, release his taxes. On top of it, we've got the complete breakdown of communications and the complete just catastrophe that he has made out of this. I mean, people are panicking, and it really should be caution, not panic. And, I mean, I even watched on the news that one of his supporters had said, they believe that the Democrats came up with this and that it's a hoax. And they didn't even believe that there was a virus. I mean, with that kind of communication and attitude, it's going to spread even worse. I mean, from, beyond this day, from days gone by, Trump is responsible for every single person that gets sick or that dies, because he had the ability to have the proper test kit. We're talking about the United States. This is the greatest country in the world, with the greatest minds and the greatest availability to whatever they need. And for Donald Trump to just completely screw this up. So let's see. Let's see if this is going to be the beginning of the whirlwind of the goodbye Trump, because it's going to be a long, dragged out goodbye, unless something comes to him where they look at him and say, buddy, you gotta go. Now, we also have Mueller has some signed or indictments, sealed indictments that still are ready to come out of the vault. So let's have a look, and we're going to see if Donald Trump, if this is the beginning of his demise. Because if people don't see now what he's doing, that he's literally lining the pockets of the pharmaceutical companies rather than saving the life of an American. So let's see what's happening with him right now, because he must be just under super amount of stress. So here we have the Ace of Cups. There is a lot of emotion. It is overflowing. People don't know what to think. People don't know where to look. And Donald Trump, this is him not knowing what to do. He is incompetent, and this is really showing his moods. Ooh. Going against this, we have the Three of Swords. Guys, this is going to be one of the three things that are going to take Donald Trump down. One being this virus and the way that he has rolled it out, and he is going to be held responsible at some point for the catastrophe, for the loss of life, and for the people who had illnesses. Because this is going to just reverberate, around the world. I mean, we're going to be looking at, products not being sent. People are being, in Italy, they've got millions of people on shutdown for a month. Like, I'm not sure how they do that. This is the beginning. Underneath it all, it's all about money. It's all about wealth. It's all about family wealth, keeping it in the family, keeping it in, with the Republican Party. And this is literally, he doesn't even know where his money goes to. On top of it, we have the Four of Cups. So he might be he's obviously getting news that is not making him happy. As far as he's concerned, if he thinks it, then that's what's real. But now he's gotten away with that for 3.5 years, but you can't fake an illness. You can't get up there and talk and say what's opposite of the scientists and for people not to see it. This is the rude awakening that's finally going to open up. Republicans are going to have to stand up because people are dying and they're going to get angry because money's going to start getting tight. The stock market's going to go down. If you're barely making ends meet now, how are you going to make ends meet if you've got to go home for a month? Because I just don't see Trump and them saying, oh yeah, if you stay home for a month, you're going to get this amount of money. Leaving is the High Priestess. So with the moon phase coming, with the spring equinox coming, we're looking at truth being revealed. This is in the past, his ability to hold on to the secrets. This is going to be people saying, you know what you're saying is not true. They're going to start realizing it. Coming up, we have the Queen of Swords. Guys, they're coming. They're coming after him. I feel so confident that this is the beginning of Donald Trump's goodbye. This is legal. This is maybe Nancy Pelosi getting involved, and definitely the female vote coming up. Underneath it all is the Magician. He thinks he's going to keep moving forward and doing what he always did. Look over here and look over there and manipulate. How people are feeling is the Page of Pentacles. People are waiting for information. They're confused. They are wanting to know about their resources. They're worried about food. They're worried about medical supplies. If you're put into seclusion for a month and you're a diabetic and you're buying your medication as you can based on how you get paid, how do you get extra supply? Especially if it goes past a month. This is the worry of the people. His big fear is the King of Cups. He's afraid that he's no longer going to be the knight in shining armor and that people are going to realize that the emperor has no clothes and they're going to start making fun of him. And that is his worst nightmare. More important than money to him is reputation. He has such an ego, and he really missed a great opportunity because, according to his numerology, he was supposed to come and be the change, and he's not. The outcome is going to be Ace of Pentacles. It's going to come down to, when I saw the Three of Swords, it's going to come down to his taxes. It's going to come down to his in combination with these taxes, the money laundering, and it's not just going to be Russia. Russia's going to be the main source, but there's going to be other monies that they're going to find that's been laundered for years and years. So yes, this is the beginning of the end for Donald Trump. I don't mean to sound mean, but it's been so bad for the last 3 years watching him just destroy and mock and just, he's literally just taken the POTUS and destroyed it. He's made a mockery of it. I mean, how did we go from Obama to Trump? So, with that being said, I'm interested to find out. Bernie Sanders, I looked at his numerology. We've talked about this before. He's sort of like the Pied Piper. He's got the support of the younger group, the grassroots. The people want change. Even with this coronavirus happening, here in Canada, yes, there's waiting lists. There's all kinds of things we can complain about. But the reality is, if you get really sick, you go to the hospital, they take you in. You don't have to worry about if that's going to bankrupt you. You don't have to worry about whether or not you're going to be able to afford to take your child in. You can. So my question is, will this coronavirus be the thing that gives Bernie Sanders the advantage, as he's for Medicare for all? And truly, at a time like this, when people are at their most vulnerable, it should be a human right to be able to have health care. So with Donald Trump and Mike Pence, following his leader, have really just made such a mess of the rollout of the coronavirus, and with so many people being ill-affected, because even if one person's affected, they get sick, or God forbid, they pass away, then you have their family, their children, their parents, it's a ripple effect. It goes out and affects so many people. And unfortunately, maybe this is, that rock that needed to be thrown into the water to cause the ripples, to make people realize, wake up, what are we doing? So I've looked at Bernie's numerology, and his life path is a 5, which is obviously change and freedom and up and down. And if you look at Bernie, he votes mostly Democratic, and yet he has to be an independent. He definitely is a hard worker, but he's very self-critical. And I guess the thing that I found in his numerology is that he was missing the 8. And missing the 8 is almost like missing that ability to be like the strong leader, the winner of it all. But then, Biden has the support of the Democratic committee and stuff, but he's showing signs of weakness. And I'm wondering if the coronavirus may not give a lift to people to say, yes, we deserve health care as a right. We deserve health care. Will this help Bernie Sanders? Let's just have a look at the energy flow to see how things are rolling on. So for Bernie Sanders, Chariot. So this is victory, guys. He is pushing it. He's going to be going for it. He's going to be strong. And right now, there is no clear-cut winner. They might think Joe Biden is the clear-cut winner, but this is telling me that Bernie Sanders might come up and give him a run, a real run. Going across him is the 5 of Pentacles. This is the Democratic Party. They say they want the change, but they're just as bad as the Republicans. They want the status quo. They have money and they have interests, high financial interests, that they don't want to have anybody screw around with. And that's what Bernie is. They're fearful of Bernie. They're fearful of the loss of Bernie. Underneath it all, we have the wish, the want to help and service people. On top of it, we're looking at the Three of Wands. This is looking at overseas. This is looking at the world, seeing the coronavirus and the destruction, and just, it's like a wave is hitting us, and it's been coming for so long. Just, it's almost like a tsunami coming in, and you're waiting. The star is there. That's the hope of the people, the hope of the Bernie Sanders people. I don't think that there's any American that truly would be willing to say, I don't want health care, I don't want my child to have health care. But it's fearful to make such a huge, momentous change. And then you get bogged down with the politics and how do you pay for it. But, you know, it's 2020, guys. This is the year of stability. This is the year of building your foundation. Let's change that. There's going to be a lot of looking at details, looking at the work, and a lot of hard work coming up for them. Looking at all the avenues that they can go, because it's not clear-cut or easy for them. They are hopeful. They want for the wishes and the health and for prosperity and change. People see it as justice. People see him as balanced. People see him as the true one, the fair one, the one that is actually being the most truthful. He is, you know, when you see Bernie Sanders, what he is what he is. Five of Cups, his fear is, and it's a fair one, that no matter what he does, no matter how much work he does, he won't get to come to completion of it. And he certainly has done and put in a lot of things that are good, but will he be able to make it to the last to become the president? The World, completion. This is cycles. I wouldn't count Bernie out. I wouldn't count him out. It's not a slam dunk for Biden yet. I think the coronavirus may, if not help Bernie, it will certainly give people something to think about and to actually get more people on board about getting health care as a human right for the U.S. And I'll end this by saying, you know, the coronavirus, if you have a dry cough or if you have a high fever, they're the two major symptoms that are separate and different than anything else with the flu or anything. That's what you need to go to the doctor or call the doctor and isolate yourself if you have those symptoms. You've been inundated with washing your hands and cleaning the surface and not hugging people and stuff. But there's a couple more things that we need to do. When I was growing up, and I grew up Catholic, every day my dad used to make me cross myself when I'd go to school. And my dad had heart disease, so he was home with me from kindergarten till he passed when I was I was 15, just turned 15. So every morning he used to make me cross myself. And when I got older and it kind of got awkward, I said, Dad, why do you get me to cross myself? And he said that was his promise with God, that I would come home safely to him every day. So I'm suggesting that you don't have to cross yourself. You can surround yourself in white light. You can clap your hands. You can just say good vibration, whatever it is. Before you leave the door, protect yourself. Protect yourself with your mind, because what you think, you attract. And if you're thinking negatively, if you're thinking about it all, you're going to attract it. So don't. Surround yourself with the white light so that you will be protected. And for the world, let's put out a prayer. Not a prayer, a thought. Because we need to have peace of mind. And peace of mind is a feeling of being safe and protected. So let's not mention the virus's name. Let's not think about all the negativity. Just think, I would like peace of mind for myself and for all those who are being affected. That's all we can do, guys. We'll just do our best, and we'll stick it out together. And I thank you so much for coming along with me and giving me your time. And I wish you so much health, and I wish you peace of mind, and wishing you light for your darkness. Have a great day, guys.